What's up, guys? How we doing? Today is my 100th video, and I just want to say thank you to all of you for the support thus far. I've been making videos for about 2 months now, and yeah, we got 61 subscribers, which means I'm getting one every other video or every day, and I think that's dope. And I love you guys, and I appreciate the support that I've been given. Today I wanted to talk about music. I actually realized yesterday when I was talking about singing that I haven't discussed music on this channel. Music is something that is really important to me. I know that it's kind of an eye roll when people say this, but music saved my life. I've talked extensively about my childhood on this channel, and I grew up a very angry kid, a very angry teenager, and my dad, who isn't my real, blood father, but was married to my mother when I was born, so I consider him, my dad to this day. He's my dad at the end of the day. He used to play Metallica on the guitar whenever I was really little, up to when I was about 5. And at first, I was really into what my mom listened to, which was old Eminem, and I still am into some old Eminem because his lyrics are just fucking like his life and my life down to a T, man. It's insane. But my dad printed me off a bunch of CDs from Killswitch Engage to Chevelle to Slipknot, just a bunch of shit. And I slowly started liking rock. It started to kind of correlate with my life, right? And I discovered Chevelle, listened to the album Wonder What's Next. That's what this tattoo is. It's their emblem. No, it's not a 4-leaf clover. But Chevelle, I loved so much. The lead singer has such a unique sound, and it's only 3 people. And while it's not heavy music, it's the first band that introduced me to screams in music. And so that was my gateway into heavier stuff. Got into Slipknot, Killswitch Engage, Atreyu, Mudvayne, The Used. Five Finger Death Punch was just coming out around this time, and I Will Die on This Hill. The first 2 Five Finger Death Punch CDs are fucking solid, cover to cover. After that, American Capitalist only has a couple good songs on it. And I think everything since then has been mediocre, and seeing them live was disappointing. But their first 2 CDs, man, ever since I heard The Bleeding on the radio, yeah. And War Is the Answer was an amazing album. If I had to list my 3 favorite bands, it would go Chevelle, Bullet for My Valentine, Slipknot, in that order. And then I would have The Used and Mudvayne. And what I mean by, favorite band is, albums that I could just sit down and listen to cover to cover. Chevelle is a very, very underrated band that I don't hear a lot of people talk about when it comes to rock music. They're not super heavy, they're not metal, they're more alternative, but they do have some heavy shit. Pete Loeffler, he's got some amazing screams, and he does this snarl on the end of some of his screams that are just amazing. He is very, very vocally talented. And then, I've gotten to the, when I was 14, gotten into the 3 Days Grace and Linkin Park and those type of bands and whatnot. But, and when I was 13, there was this thing at my school where the cops took poor kids, basically, and gave us $100 and let us go shop for Christmas. And I bought a CD player, and I bought my first few CDs. As Daylight Dies by Killswitch Engage, The Way of the Fist from Five Finger Death Punch, Wonder What's Next. No, the album after Wonder What's, I think, Vina Sarah, and Apocalyptica, the purple cover that has I Don't Care, and very underrated band again. Apocalyptica is basically a band that does their music with violins. They're like a metal band that uses violins and collaborate with different singers, you know. So they've collaborated with the lead singer of 3 Days Grace, Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Rammstein, the lead singer of fucking Shinedown, Brett Smith. Yeah, pretty awesome band, and really, really went hard into metal, and it reflected my anger. It was very therapeutic to me. A lot of people call it garbage, a lot of people call it noise, whatever. They have their opinions. I would say the same about rap. Like, SoundCloud rappers to me are like the most talentless hags ever. I took a couple of years of college, learned how to use Logic Pro. You can create a beat in about 2 seconds and write lyrics in Crown that don't make any sense. Rap is one of the easiest genres to get into, but it is not one of the easiest genres to be good at. And so I respect the hell out of rappers that are really good. Anyway, got into metal and got into singing. You know, like, I have so many dark memories that I drowned out with metal. Music was my therapy. And I felt like screaming, so that's what I listened to, was screaming. And the lyrics to shit like Bullet for My Valentine, a lot of their stuff. The Poison is one of the greatest albums of all time. Front to back. Can't believe it's their first CD. Such an amazing album. The End is my favorite personal song off that album. But just the entire thing is amazing. And it just had such a huge impact on my life. And whenever I got my first car, I started singing and I started screaming along to this music because I felt the emotion behind it, and I got pretty good at it. I went and saw my dad when I was about 15 and actually recorded me covering something in a studio, and I did not sound very good, and he kind of taught me how to sing from, your diaphragm, how to really punch it out there. And once I understood that, once I got that down, I got fucking good at it. And I just, in the car would just sing and scream to these songs at moments where I literally wanted to end my life. Would just scream along to this music and got really good at it. In fact, one of the only I'm proud moments I think I got from my mother was we were riding together, and I got a lot of songs on iTunes. I've been buying songs on iTunes for like the last 10 years, just paying $1 a song. So I got like 1,500 songs. And White Knuckles by Five Finger Death Punch came on, and that song's got a badass breakdown in it. And during that breakdown, Ivan Moody punches out a really long scream, and I just fucking belched it out and obliterated it, dude. Just nailed it. And she looked at me like, holy shit, son. Like that was like, she was actually impressed. And that's like one of the only times I've ever seen my mother impressed with something I did. And my original idea for this channel was to do music covers. And I kind of want to get a dash cam so I can maybe record me singing. But see, my lungs are going to shit because of COVID and me always hitting this thing. And it's getting harder and harder for me to sing. It really is. But there was a moment where I was getting really good. My ex-wife used to say that I sounded like a blend of 21 Pilots, Chevelle, and Slipknot, which she could have just been saying because she was my ex-wife and whatever, but like, I don't know. She seemed impressed with it. Everybody that I've sung around has seemed impressed with it. I used to hang out with a guy back whenever I lived in Golden, Missouri, that he sung a lot and listened to metal as well, and got mad because I was a better singer than him, and he could not get over that. And I don't want to be mean, but he was decent, and he definitely had decent screams, but like when it came to like singing, he really could not hit a note, and he couldn't tell that he can't hit a note. That's the big thing, is being able to recognize when you're unable to hit a note and knowing that you need to improve and go higher or put a little more oomph into it, and because if you don't know where you're messing up, then you how do you improve? You know what I mean? And so it's always been something that I've wanted to show people. And back in this time, I was actually in college taking online courses, so I had an iMac, and I was going to college for music and had Logic Pro X and professional headphones and could actually record myself and sing. So I was like getting really into it, and unfortunately pissed that away. One of my biggest regrets. I used to do it a lot more around people whenever I was drinking because liquid courage, baby. And drinking actually loosens up the vocal cords a little bit. Taking a shot, just one, actually helps loosen up the vocal cords a little bit. And I busted out sick and wait and bleed in the car in front of my buddy and his girlfriend, and they were just like, holy shit. So like, just like everybody that I've ever actually had the guts to do it around was really impressed. And that's the thing, is like, if you get nervous and don't commit to it, you'll sound like shit. Like, singing is one of those things you have to fully commit and fully believe and do it, and or you're not going to sound good. And for me to fully commit, I was always shy about because of how loud I would have to get. And so it definitely took a while for me to get comfortable doing it around other people. And but once I did, man, people were really encouraging about it. And like, my friends are brutally honest. They would tell me straight up if I sounded like shit. Oh, and I had an ex-girlfriend that we used to get drunk and hang out in the car together, and I would sing. And let me tell you, if you can sing and show it off in front of a woman, yeah, that's a good way to get her going, man. Because she used to be really impressed by it, and so like literally everybody I've sung around has approved of it. And then the last 3 years, my lungs have just been going and going, and that really fucking sucks. Lydia by Highly Suspect. If I were to cover a song on YouTube, that would probably be my first one because I can nail that song note for note. The Used, I try to match screams like that or in that of Pete Loafers, those sharp, not into growling very much, not into death metal and stuff. I like the sharp, raw screams from artists like The Used and Pete Loafer and old Slipknot. And in fact, Eyeless is actually the first song that I attempted to scream at. And I used to sing that every morning on the way to work whenever I lived in Memphis. And you know, those of you that know the song know what I'm talking about. You know, where he just says, "Look me in my brand new eye," and fucking holds those long notes over and over. And that's the song that got me good at screaming. Such a fucking banger of a song. And Bullet for My Valentine, another band that's just phenomenal, just album to album. But Chevelle, man, like every album from them, to me, personally, is just amazing, front to back. Wonder What's Next, amazing album. Finest Era, amazing album. This type of thinking could do us in. Forgot to mention that one. This is post-edit, Jeremy. That's probably debatably their best CD. Sci-Fi Crimes. Then you got Hats Off to the Bull that came out when I was in rehab. Amazing album. Lar Gargola that came out when I was in high school. Decent album. Was my least favorite one thus far. And then they came out with their last album. That I don't even remember what it was called. They actually tried to go heavier, and I didn't like it as much. There is one good song on there that I really enjoy. What the fuck is it called? It's like a 10-minute long song. It's Shot from a Cannon. That's what it's called. And the album is North Collider, and it's not their last one. I forgot they came out with a CD a couple of years ago that's got Self-Destructor on it, which is a fun fact. The first song Persephone ever heard. That's the song we played on the way from the hospital to home. Not super loud, obviously, because she was a newborn, but that's the first song she ever heard was Self-Destructor and then Halo by Soil. And yeah. And Joyride on the North Collider was probably the most popular song off that album from Chevelle. It was on the radio, and that breakdown long scream that he does on that, I fucking nailed the shit out of that one day in the car in front of my wife and ex-wife or whatever, and I just got really good, man. And I can't tell you how disappointed I am to like not be able to confidently say that I'm still good. Like, I have my days, but it's not very consistent, and I basically spend it all on one song, you know? I still try, though. You know, I still try when I'm out. As a matter of fact, there's a Scream I'm trying to cover right now from Seether, and the song is Teenage Wasteland, I think, is what it's called. Hold on. Yeah, Wasteland. And he says, say something, say something, say something, say something now, right? And he's singing it very quietly, and then all of a sudden he just comes in with a fucking sharp now scream, and it holds it for like 10 seconds. Like, not as long as Linkin Park and Given Up, but like half as long, but maintains the oomph the entire time. And it comes from such like a quiet voice to that, and that note almost makes me cry, because I discovered this song around the time I was going through my divorce. So Say Something Now was like actual thoughts I was having in my head, and that scream, I just like felt that, you know? And I've been working on trying to cover it, and I cannot hold it that long. Like, and he just comes in so sharp and so aggressive. It's impressive, really. Yeah, when I hit 18 and graduated high school and was going through my breakup with my high school sweetheart, I discovered 21 Pilots, heard car radio on the radio, and that's right around the time they had just dropped that, and then they came out with their album that had Stressed Out on it. Blurry Face, I think, is the name of the album. I could be wrong. And that album, fucking phenomenal. So basically, I would listen to metal, take a break and listen to 21 Pilots and old Eminem. I love me some old Eminem, man. Rock Bottom, it's one of my favorite songs ever, and I listen to that a lot right now, actually. My daughter wants to throw the ball, but I'm too stressed to play. I respect the hell out of Eminem and the life that he had, and music has had such a huge impact on my life. And last year, I finally got to go see a lot of those bands. I saw Chevelle my high school year with a friend that I actually knew from preschool that passed away recently, and that was actually the last time I really saw him. But we went to this concert together, and I still got the videos from it. And saw Chevelle put on an amazing show. And I got a little too drunk to remember it like I would like to. But last year, I got to go see Slipknot because they came to Springfield, who put on an amazing show. Was supposed to see Falling in Reverse, but they canceled because Ronnie Radke won't perform for fucking any venues that are small. Falling in Reverse sucks, by the way. I think Ronnie Radke's a douchebag. I love the breakdowns in Falling in Reverse, like in their songs, but Ronnie, if you just took him out, I think his screams are garbage. I think his voice is garbage. It's kind of annoying, and he's just a fucking douchebag. Compare Ronnie to Corey Taylor. Ronnie cancels concerts over fucking laptops. Corey believes that fucking up live is what makes live music awesome, and I'm inclined to agree with that. And Ronnie... Anyway, missed my chance to see Falling in Reverse, whatever. Mudvayne got back together. So I became a huge Mudvayne fan whenever I was 14. I got a Mudvayne poster right behind this computer and bought a Mudvayne shirt, which I've yet to rock on camera because it got ripped at the seams when I washed it somehow. So I gotta get fabric glue and fix it, but it's a badass shirt. Anyways, by the time I discovered them, they were broken up. And so I never in my life thought I would get to see them. The lead singer, Chad, I believe is his name, it went to do Hell Yeah, and I never thought I would get to see them. And then they reunited and did a tour last year, so I got to see them with Butcher Babies and Gwar, which was one hell of a show. And Mudvayne put on such a good fucking concert, dude. Seeing these Slipknot, Mudvayne, who else? Went and saw Metallica and Five Finger Death Punch in Kansas City. No, in St. Louis, and saw Mudvayne in Kansas City. And World So Cold is probably my favorite song by Mudvayne. I have screamed to that song. I have cried to that song. It's such an emotionally beautiful song, and it's one of those songs that ends by a continuous loop getting quieter. So live, he just repeatedly, like, I don't know if most of you watching know any of the fucking music I'm talking about. Metal is kind of not the most popular genre in the world, but World So Cold, you know, he screams living in a world so cold, and then it goes into music and the song fades, and that's how it ends. But in concert, he just kept screaming living in a world so cold and holding that note. And I cried. I legit did. I fucking cried. It was beautiful to see an artist on stage performing something that I used to listen to when I wanted to fucking kill myself. And I'm not joking. Like, that song is something that I've listened to in some of my darkest fucking moments. And to see him perform that live, I legit started crying. And the way that he kept screaming World So Cold at the end of the song, I wasn't expecting that. I was curious on how they would end it, and he nailed it. Because you got to keep in mind, these bands are all late 90s, early 2000s fans. So like now they're like 50, 40 or 50. And Chad, dude, he nailed it. Not only did he nail it, but him and Corey just gave amazing speeches when they were up there. Amazing, inspiring speeches. More so to Mudvayne. Like he was saying, like, give yourself a pat on the back for being here tonight because you took a moment to do yourself a favor, and that is escape the world and do something for yourself. And you're here, and we're having fun, and was just, you could tell that he suffered from depression in his life. And just gave such a beautiful speech, and then performed World So Cold, and yeah, and then Slipknot. It's hard to pick a favorite song from them, but I love Sulfur, and seeing that live was amazing. And I really, really wish that my lungs weren't as fucked as they are. Because I know I can't make the claim to you that I'm a good singer and a good screamer without showing you evidence. So I'll withdraw the claim. But I just know it and I understand it and understand how to hit these notes and breathe. The problem is now I just don't have enough air output to hit these high, hard notes. And I have to, when I sing, I have to sing loud, and to hit these notes. And you've seen me in videos get red in the face just by saying a long sentence. So it's really hard. But I do have good days, but I basically spend it all in one song. I'll nail a song and then my lungs are gone for the rest of the fucking day. And that sucks. But I don't know. I just wanted to give a shout out to and talk about music and give you a little insight on what my personal tastes are and whatnot. Like the early 2000s, late 90s rock era is what I'm into. Bullet for My Valentine, Chevelle. The Used, again, is another one that is still popping, still coming out with albums. I'm a Fake, Sound Effect, and Over Dramatics. Those two songs, that album is so fucking good. Bullet's new stuff isn't that great, but whatever. Trey's new stuff isn't that great, but Killswitch Engage got rid of Howard. So Killswitch Engage had their first album with Jesse and then replaced Jesse with Howard, who did way better, and then came out with the album As Daylight Dies, which has the song My Curse, which is probably their most popular song. It was on Guitar Hero 3. Guitar Hero 3 actually introduced me to Mudvayne, as a matter of fact, because it had Do What You Do on there. And, yeah. Music means so much to me, and the pure raw emotion behind the music, to feel it, to scream it, to sing it, it feels good, and it's always been therapeutic for me. And maybe one day I'll be able to get a dash cam and sing or whatever, get my own house and actually soundproof a room and do that. But with the way my lungs have been, it's just like I can do one song and that's it, maybe. But Lydia by Highly Suspect, he's more in my natural octave. And I just love the lyrics to that song. And when he screams, I can't fucking breathe, much less believe the truth. I sing that song so well. I wish I could show you guys, I gotta get a dash cam, and then maybe that'll have the music going. I saw a video of a dude covering Miss May I, and he did an exceptional job. I don't want to take away from what he did. He was in the car and he was singing along to it, and he was doing a decent job, and it got millions upon millions of views. And I looked at that and was like, I can fucking do that. And that's was my first thought on making YouTube videos, was that video right there, and thinking that I would do these covers. And then my lungs just got shot. I caught COVID that first time, which fucked them up, and then caught COVID again, which fucked them up even more. And now I'm at a point where literally I yell, I get all red-faced because I'm out of breath, and it's kind of hard to scream to a song if one yell gets you out of breath. And that's what a lot of singing is, especially stuff like that, is conserving your breath and hitting those notes and knowing when to breathe in. And yeah, I don't know, just thought I would talk about this random topic today and show you a little bit of my music taste. As far as new stuff goes, Nothing More is pretty good. Jenny is a beautiful song. I could never hit that chorus in a million years, though. The one thing that I think makes me a good singer is that a lot of people that think they're good singers don't know when they're off. I know when I'm off. I know when I'm missing a note. I can tell. Like, I can tell when I'm on key and I can tell when I'm not. And it's just like, I don't know how to get you to understand, but like, I just like understand it, right? Like, I understand how to hit the notes, how to output the air and hit it from the... I don't know how to explain it. I just got really good at it, and it sucks because now it's really hard for me to do. But, like, I don't know. I nailed Zombified by Falling in Reverse today in the car. Fuck you, Ronnie. Even with bad lungs, I can cover your shit. But, yeah... I can't, there's certain high shit I can't cover. The Used, that's that's too high for me. And, Nothing More, the chorus in Jenny there's no way. I can't hit that. That shit's ridiculous. And Atreyu, they're hard to hit too. But screaming, I got good at singing, and then I thought I would give screaming a try, and then surprisingly got good at that too. And then what's good about screaming is when you do a good scream and then go back to singing, it actually makes singing a little bit easier because I don't know how to explain it. I can't make these claims without giving you proof. So one day I will give you proof. I'll get a dash cam. I need to get a dash cam anyway for my job, but music's just always been something I was really passionate about, and I went to school for it temporarily. And if you didn't know, the lead singer of 3 Days Grace just dropped a new... So Adam Gontier left 3 Days Grace, and the dude that came in, I don't care for at all, but the Adam Gontier came back and just did a song with 3 Days Grace with the other singer, and they go back and forth. It's called Mayday. Worth a listen if you're a rock fan. It's not bad at all, actually, and it's cool to hear Adam Gontier back with 3 Days Grace. I don't know if he's like back, or if it was just a collab or what, but metal has shaped who I am as a person, for sure. And music has, without a doubt, saved my life. Being able to listen to those words, those raw emotions, those screams, having that outlet is so beautiful. And music is such a beautiful thing, no matter the genre, no matter the genre, because I know other genres do that for other people, and I think music is just such a beautiful thing for that, And, yeah. Here's to 100 more videos. I appreciate the support and love you guys. Thank you for watching.